And hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Welcome to another setting of Living Legend of the Five Rings, where today I Dragon is sitting here by the river as he often does. His eyes are closed, at least for now. He's in a meditating state as he's concentrating on the wind around him, the of the river, the sound of the very few in these parts, very few animals. Mostly, there's probably the sound of a crow every once in a while. But he's concentrating on everything around him, and he'll after a while he'll open his eyes, still not moving, seeing, trying to concentrate, looking straight ahead.
Um, Eventually a robed man with white face paint, uh, who is still taking in the new surroundings of the of Kyuden. Um, Always vigilant on the lookout. He spent some time prowling the markets with his inquisitive gaze, and has decided to branch out today uh, to walk the banks of the river, I guess.
So, I'm sure we'll see a face he hasn't seen before. One quite unusual, and he'll smile to himself as he sees the man, and he'll get up and, in his usual, very slow and deliberate manner, he'll walk towards this new man. As he'll smile and seeing their, I'm guessing he sees their kimono with a samurai.
Yeah, it has a crabmon on it.
He'll bow to the man. Togashi is, Ashura is, for a samurai, he's the less unusual for crab, but still something that he might notice is his robes are very basic for a samurai. If it wasn't for the fact that it was green, the color of the dragon, and that it had the mon of the Togashi on the left and the Mirumoto on the right, you'd think this was more of a monk than a samurai. And he bows. Ah, a new face.
He will return the bow. And I seem to be encountering new colors every day.
There are many there are members of, and he'll think, every great clan here.
And then he'll think to himself, then I have two more to go, I see.
He'll think, which ones have you not seen yet?
The colors of the phoenix, and make a mental note, the lion.
The lion shouldn't be too hard to see a lion. There's one who is in charge of, and he'll think, the military. Yeah, I think one is in charge of the military here.
Well, then perhaps our paths will cross someday. But seeing as I am quite preoccupied with the duties of the Emerald Magistrate, it will not be high on my list to make it there.
I'll nod. So you've seen the leader of your branch, a unicorn, I believe.
Yes, quite an imposing figure.
I am still to see her.
Perhaps if you wait along the open fields, you will see the enormous giant of a horse she is riding.
The tales of the mounts of the unicorn are great. I saw the ones of friends that served alongside me in missions, but I heard that yes, hers was greatest too.
He bows and speaks at the same time, not really bowing at Togashi, but more to his own words. The armies of the unicorn have been the only army to breach the wall. Truly, they are worthy of their reputation.
A great deed, from what I have heard. The wall is quite impressive.
Have you been to the wall?
Unfortunately, not yet. I have heard many stories of its height and its great standing, of the many enemies it has kept behind the wall.
I dare say that no one alive should make claims as to how impressive the wall is until they have laid their own eyes upon it.
And he'll nod. I guess you are right. Have you served on the wall?
He bows again. 2 years.
What can you tell me about it?
In what regard?
He'll think. How is it to serve on the wall? How does it feel to be up at the top of the wall? How does it feel to serve on the wall, seeing the many enemies of the Empire, protecting them?
There is never a dull moment. Life is work, and when you are not working, you are thinking of it. If there is quiet, surely there is something wrong.
And he'll nod. It must be a good feeling to protect the rest of the Empire from the creatures that lay on the other side.
Indeed, as formidable as the wall is, the occasional unpleasantness manages to creep through and spreads infection. I have heard that the infection resides here.
There are monsters, I believe, and he'll think. I believe Sojiro said some monsters we encountered were from the other side, or at least he had seen them on the other side.
So who did he say said that?
Sojiro.
Oh. Yes, I have spoken with Hida-san. He clued me in to the more blatant signs of infection, though I'm sure more still lurk.
And he'll look to the forest. They say many creatures lay inside there, make their home in this place.
My attention has been drawn there, yes. Though I am currently seeing to a bit of a poison problem within the village.
Mm.
As my magistrate commands.
Has poison been found? Has someone already fell to the poison?
Excuse me. Indeed, I have found a bit of it. But we must track its source. Opium.
How far have you gotten, if I may be so bold to ask?
He bows again. We have made 2 arrests. Have some leads. I dare not risk more, though. Saying more, though.
And he'll just nod his head. Well, the fastest it can be dealt with, the better, I guess. But you do not, I can understand you do not want to rush into it. Do not want to arrest the wrong people either.
Indeed. And the affairs of the wrongdoings of peasants is not quite my area of expertise.
And he'll nod. What about the rest of the empire? Have you traveled in any other lands from the lands of the crab?
This is my first excursion away from the wall.
How do you find it?
Rather quiet. I believe I made my thoughts on quiet known earlier.
He'll smile. The quiet, yes. That is something that, well, as different as the Latenscape is from my own home, we share the same quietness, the same silence.
Ah, yes. I've heard of the mountains. Of the dragon. The crablands are mountainous as well. Indeed, I climbed them often when I wanted to find a little bit of seclusion. Mainly to study.
What areas do you enjoy studying? What areas do you spend the most studying?
In my youth, it was the mountains. A nice ledge overlooking the wall, gazing out to see the shadow on the other side. Made for a nice reflective place.
He'll nod. I used to sit on top of mountains too. Looked at boys around me. Looked at birds on the trees and the people walking by. I believe that many lessons can be taught, can be learned simply by looking at the world around you, around us, I'll say.
Indeed. It is why I wish to make myself. Let me backtrack. It is why I wish to travel the world.
His smile gets a bit bigger at this. Huh. As do I. Rokugan is great in its size. I would like to discover all of it. Maybe even beyond if I am allowed.
And how does the rest of your clan view your wanderlust? The seclusion of the dragon is well known.
And he'll smile. The dragons are quiet, but we do not. Well, we will venture out of the mountains a little bit more than the stories would like. Stories are not told of it because we tend to keep quiet and simply watch. My sister travels the land. She believes it is her way to enlightenment.
And has she brought it back with her?
Yeah, she'll smile. She is still traveling, or at least she was when I left. It wasn't so long ago. I believe she is still traveling. She is young. And she's still young. Well, a few years above me, but still. Enlightenment. Enlightenment often takes many years to achieve. Or at least it is what I have heard.
I have no evidence to disagree. Forgive me. Your name.
And he'll his eyes go a bit bigger. Oh yes, I am Togashi Asura of the Mirumoto school of the Dragon Clan, of course.
A school counter to your family. Interesting.
Yes, I looked up to my sister for many years. She was a Togashi monk. Well, she is a Togashi monk. Still is. But when I was still a child, before I started my training, she said that I should look into building myself into my own man and not try to be like her. As a way to do this, I decided to learn in the way of the Mirumoto Bushi.
So it wasn't a fear of needles then?
He'll smile. No, I have tattoos myself. They do not have the power of the monks. They do not have the power that the monks have, but I have them. And he'll just show a bit of his left on his torso. There's but just a little bit. Like he just moves a little bit. You see a bit of a it's green. It looks you're not too sure what it is. It looks green, maybe, but yeah, like scales or something on it.
At the motion of Asura's showing skin.
I mean, I don't wait. I don't think that's out of like that's a no, is it?
To my knowledge, yeah, like Rokugani, like the modesty is king.
Oh,
I mean,
true.
It's fine though in this case. Like,
okay,
you can do it. It's fine.
I mean, she's a dragon too, so.
Kuni will bow, or Susumu will bow. Such a, how do I say that? Such a brash display that you have given me.
And he kind of, as if he realizes. Oh, yes. It's true. The rest of Rokugan do not. Well, the rest of Kugan do not show this. Back in the mountains, at least the monks, you can often see them walking around. Their tattoos shown.
Skin does not offend me, Togashi-san. Skin is very important. Forgive me, I am Kuni Susumu. And he bows again.
Pleased to meet you. The Kuni. And he'll think. Well, obviously a family of the crab, but I think you are its Shugenja.
And he nods. It's a very deep nod, almost threatens to go into a bow. Indeed, we are.
And he'll nod. I guess we are in need of Shugenja. I like the ways of, well, I would not say your ways. The ways of every Shugenja is cool, is different. But I have learned a little bit about the people that use magic, the elements. We train alongside them in the Dragonlance.
We are the allies and speakers to the kami. We are important, for we must pay homage to the kami.
And he'll nod. May I ask what kind of spells you specialize in?
Primarily, hold on. How do I say this? I have focused my studies on ways to combat the forces of Fulang and Jigoku.
And he'll nod. Helpful. I believe you will be extremely helpful in these parts.
And I would be honored to do so. Infection must be fought.
Indeed. He'll say with quite an affirmative nod. Are there any lands you look forward to seeing more than the others?
If I had my way, I would see them all. I do not know if there's one I have more anticipation for than the other. I merely wish to find sources of infection and stamp it out. To become like one of the witch hunters of the Kuni. If I am so privileged as to be selected.
Only the kami will tell. I imagine it lies in the future.
And unfortunately, divination is not one of my areas of expertise.
You'll smile. Neither is it one of mine. Or it is not yet.
I can only make sure that I ensure that I write my own future by my deeds.
I was impressed when, well, I traveled a little bit before my Genpuku. Traveled with my sister. When she left the Dragonlands, she wanted to spend time with me, and so for a little bit I traveled with her. We crossed the Lionlands and went to the lands of the Crane. Very populated areas in comparison to my home. Probably very populated in comparison to your home too, from the tales I have heard.
I'm sorry, was he commenting on the population?
Yeah, like when you go to the Cranelands and less the Cranelands now. But at least the Linelands, there's like a lot more people.
Mm. Our villages are more secluded, yes. But the amount of people at the wall more than makes up for it.
Is the wall very populated?
It is manned by thousands of soldiers. Hundreds die every day, and hundreds more must be sent to replenish it. If the wall is unmanned, Rokugan falls.
A wall populated by more people than some villages, and everyone there is a warrior. And sorry, that kind of came out with it. Is a warrior like it's more of a question.
Oh, yeah. He bows. No. If I have given that impression, I apologize. There are many, many warriors, but the peasants in the Edda serve their purpose as well. When warriors fall, it is the Edda who must go to fetch them and collect their bodies to be burned and given proper funeral rites. When warriors run into the tunnels to take care of some abomination that has managed to find its way there, it is the Edda who must go into those tunnels and drag the bodies out before they resurrect as the undead. Everyone plays their role at the wall.
I'm starting to understand. Great stories have been told about it without even having been there yet. A wall with the same population as some cities, or close to it.
And to give you the idea, the wall is enormous. Like it spans the entire border.
Yeah, obviously I've played dragons on the. I've played samurai on the wall before. It's just Ashura hasn't.
Okay. It is the skin of Rokugan holding back infection.
A lot. Skin is important indeed. I see.
And he bows again.
And he'll think. There are many stories no, not many. I cannot say many. I am still young. I'm sure others have many more, but there are some lessons I have learned, or I am still learning from watching as I was saying before, the world around me. One that, well, I know the lesson is true. Even as young as I am, I'm as long as actually, I was going to ask how old does Susumu look, but with the makeup, it's probably hard to tell.
It might be a little more difficult to tell, yeah, but he definitely looks to be in his early 20s. Like you can at least get that kind of range.
Okay. As young as many of us are, something I know is true is that the world and what we do is thrown up on us. Our duties and our duties and what happens to us is all thrown up on us. It does not wait for us to be ready, or rather, it does not wait till we think we are ready. I learned that by, well, I was a boy and I was watching a bird nest. The mother was looking at its babies. One of them had grown to have all of its feathers. She threw the baby off the nest. They do this so that the baby learns to fly for the first time.
Hmm.
When the baby is thrown in the air, when it is falling, it does not know if it is ready to fly. It simply bad things and hope it does, and hope it will, and hopes it will.
Yes, I am familiar with the analogy of the mother bird throwing her young out of the nest. Unfortunately, is not an analogy that I find applicable. Where I come from, if a mother bird throws her bird out of the nest, there's a very good chance that bird will hit the ground. And the problem is, its failure to fly will also result in the death of its brothers and sisters and its mother.
How does the death spread?
The crab needs its warriors to know how to fly before they get where they need to go. If they can't, then they will die, and the thing that killed them will likely come to kill the next one, and the next one, and the next one.
And he'll think.
We have no patience for those who do not know how to fly.
And he'll think, but perhaps the mother already knows that the bird is able to fly, is ready to fly. Perhaps the mother already knows that it will achieve.
Perhaps. She better know.
He'll bow again. I have to get to training. I promised I would train. So, yes, because wait, I'm thinking of something. Yes, he'll just say, I have to get to training. But this was a pleasing talk. I hope to see you again.
He bows. Indeed. Please be vigilant.
And he'll nod. I will do my best. It has gotten me this far. And he'll bow and then leave.
Susumu will admire the river for a few moments longer as Asura leaves.
I believe we can end this in there. Thank you, player, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching, and we'll see you on another episode of Living Legend of the Five Rings.